5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1003769, $395 per month, lease with 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to assigning, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See the details.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Welcome in to We Talk Facts with 9-year NBA veteran and Nebraska basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and 2-time Nebraska football champion Clester Johnson. Talking and taking names in sports and day-to-day living. Sit back, relax, and join the show with 9-year NBA vet and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and 2-time Nebraska football national champion Clester Johnson.
Yes. We are back on the air. WTF, We Talk Facts. E-Strick here and my partner, Clester Johnson, who is live on the StreamYard stream. Had to be at home today. It's kind of cold. It's brisk, a little brisk outside today, but it was Thirsty Thursday, and you know what we do on Thirsty Thursday. Uncle Kev, shout out to Uncle Kev for coming through and taking care of his boy because his boy is feeling right about now. Went down to cigars as well. Harrison Arms back on the 1s and 2s. We are back on air after a few weeks of, the holiday break, and my birthday was last Monday, and so I had to get out of there and celebrate a little bit, and now we're going to do a few more weeks before we get into the Christmas holiday. So we're grateful and thankful to be with you guys. Love you all. Clester Johnson, what's going on? Squabble up, my boy. What's happening?
Just thought I would dedicate a little bit of Thirsty Thursdayness to you all. And by the way, I do have a gift. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, but I'm getting him to just kind of make sure he turns you up a little bit.
A lot of people realize that Erick is a world traveler, and if he can get away from the coldness, he will.
That's a fact.
I do have a small gift for E. Strick. He didn't know that.
Oh.
And when I see him again, he's going to be very, very happy with this gift.
My man. Hey, listen, a lot of people don't know, Clester, that you and I have great history. It's definitely a brother from another mother, and we're definitely cut from the same cloth cloth, man. So I definitely appreciate you. But we're going to get into this WTF evening tonight, starting off with a little bit of the college football playoff situation. It's looking a little wild right now. And Cless, when we go back to the college football playoffs and we look at it, right, we've seen where it began. Obviously, there was a situation with you guys here at Nebraska. And shout out to Nate Turner. What up, my boy? Nate Turner shouted us out, Cless Johnson. He says, Nate Turner says, oh, yeah, you got it. Thanks, Harrison. What's up, brothers? Strickland Clester, go Big Red. You know Big Nate. Nate was around when we was young folk back on campus.
That's Nate. Okay, Nate's tuned in.
Nate's tuned in. Nate listens.
I do gotta holler at Nate. Nate, listen, I see you. We gotta catch up for sure. We'll keep going.
That's a fact. So when we go back to it, right? You remember how it all started? It was the votes. It was the votes that counted. It was the votes that mattered. How it felt to those who were looking at everything on throughout the season, and they made a decision at the end. And there were some controversial ones. There was some dual championships, obviously one of them being the Huskers and Michigan. And now both Michigan and the Huskers are in the same conference. So we didn't get a chance to see that. And then you get off into the BCS and you started dealing with the analytics and the numbers and what that came out to be, what the computer spit out at you. And then we got into the playoffs, and a lot of people were excited about that. And then there were some controversial situations with the playoffs. A few 11-0 teams felt that they should have been in there, i.e. UCF, led by Scott Frost. And then now we're finding ourselves in each of those situations. There was always something that somebody was a little frustrated with, upset about. And now we're in that situation right now, class, where there is potentially some controversial situations. There are some things that are still yet to pan out. People are wondering whether or not playing in the doggone championship game is worth something, or is it better to just sit out? Because not being in a playoff game is looking like you're locked in. You have the potential to get bounced out if you play in the playoff game. I mean, in the championship. It's crazy right now. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on it? Break it down for us. How you view it?
Eric, we have to look at it another way. Here's how we need to look at it. We love when March Madness come around. This has a March Madness flavor to it. That's how we need to start looking at this thing, because I'm looking at the potential bracket and I'm looking at bubble teams. Like we've never had that sort of flavor in college football, and I love it. I love the controversy. I think it brings more eyes to the overall aesthetic of college football. I feel like they should have done this a long time ago, allowed more teams to have access to winning a championship. You're seeing some rather unusual teams having the opportunity. I mean, we're looking at Indiana, we're looking at SMU, we're looking at Boise State, like Arizona State. Like, we're looking at teams that you would never, ever expect to be in the mix. Now, as far as controversy, I love it. I love it. Now we got teams that are 9-3. We got teams that are 10-2. They got the potential to get in the mix. And what I like is who gets hot at the right time. See, a 9-3 team could get it hot right at the right moment and pull it off. They get the right bracket. They beat the right people, and they're right in the mix. So I'm really excited, man. I know a lot of people don't think this, but just imagine if Boise State and UNLV end up in the championship, whereas previously, before, these teams never had a chance. I really feel like now this has opened the floodgates to actually have, if you're good, you better play good for 3-4 straight games, because there's no slacking in your macking. That's what I like. I got more, but that's where I see it right now, Eric. I see a March Madness flavor. That's how I feel about it. I love the controversy. That just brings more eyes and more fan bases to the visual of the whole outcome of this whole event.
Well, let me throw a little bit more wrinkles into this process. 402-464-5685 is the Sutter Heyman text line if you want to join into the conversation. I'm going to get Harrison in on this as well, but here's where some of the controversy arises, class, when you're looking at the rankings of teams. For example, yes, let's just be real and let's just be honest about this because we talk facts here. Let's be honest about this thing. Is that there are some teams that tricked it off. There are some teams that had some trickery moments, and when you really look back at it, they can only fault themselves because all they had to do was go out and win. Right?
And Eric, for the people out there, could you define trick off? Could you define that? Could you tell people what that means?
Tricking it off means is like when you're in the driver's seat, it is all in your hands. All you have to do is go out and do your thug thizzle, do your thing. Get the job done, and nobody's talking, making any questions, or having any qualms about the fact that you got where you are, i.e. Ole Miss tricked it off. You know what I'm saying? I.e. Miami, in some forms of fashion, tricked it off. But here's where the controversy stands. I'm going to throw this one out to you because some people feel that there's a disservice, and this is where the SEC, the Big Ten, biases, the big conferences, the big moolah, the big money, they're having these conversations about it because you have a team like Ohio State, been doing well all year, had some close ones. Nebraska even took them down the road. A couple others took them down the road, blow out Indiana, but then come back in a rivalry game against Michigan, who is unranked and looking very dismal at home. Tricks it off
at home,
right, and only falls 4 slots. They fall from number 2 to number 6. On the other hand, you have Miami who drops, so that's only 4-spot drop. You have Miami who drops 6 spots to number 12, which is currently, as you said, the NCAA bubble team on the outside looking in, with Alabama, who is 9-3. Right there ahead of them looking for that last wild card spot. So this is where the Big 12, the ACC finds themselves on the outside looking in of the big conferences. Do you think that's right or do you think that's fair? Both you and Harrison, and I'll let Harrison go first so you can finish it off. Class, go ahead, Harrison.
Yeah, this thing's just going to be interesting the more this shakes out. I mean, year 1 into it, we got 12 teams now, and still feels like chaos. The only thing I'm really getting out of this college football playoffs is they're doing what they can to keep Alabama in the mix. What surprised me is that these teams that aren't going to have a conference championship game, if they're already in their projections, they're locked in. So like that's just crazy how they've guaranteed Alabama just somehow found a way. Like they'd be worse off heading to a conference championship game, getting that 4th loss. But because they were 3-loss team, they get to sit there, not have to risk it. And they're better off for it. This thing's got a lot of holes in it. I'm a fan of the chaos, but if I was one of those teams, like if I'm Miami, I'm looking at Alabama a little bit pissed off.
Right, and we had this last year.
Mm-hmm.
We had a very similar situation last year, where teams that people thought should have possibly been in there was not. And so here's what you have, Kless, and I'm gonna let you answer the question. SEC teams like the South Carolina Gamecocks, big win, going into Clemson, taking care of them. Clemson still has a shot at it because now they're going to play in the championship game of the ACC. They're out. The reason they being out is because they both lost to Ole Miss and they lost to Alabama. But here's the dilemma. Alabama, they all have 3 losses, but Alabama lost to the Rebels. So the Rebels are looking at things like, what the heck is going on here? And so that's the issue. And this is where you talk about big bank, take little bank. How do you view it, Kless?
The issue with UNLV, Army, and Miami is their win-loss record. Their schedule. Okay. Miami, they haven't, honestly, if you look at their schedule, dude, they haven't beat nobody. I hate to say it. They do not have a good win on their record. Matter of fact, they didn't even beat a ranked team this year. So That's number one for them. Army, you know, for the sake of the services, I think we'd be putting them in just on that alone, just because it's honorable. But can they compete with the big dogs? I think it's a wasted spot, to be honest with you. And of course, again, UNLV. UNLV is a little different. I mean, it'd been interesting to see how they would have been if they wouldn't have ever lost that quarterback in the beginning. But they've been able to maintain, and I think what affects UNLV is they're just not a football power, and I'm sure part of it has to be economics. What kind of fan base do they have? Are they going to travel and add to the bottom line? I know they're looking at that. Alabama has a huge fan base nationwide. They've been in the mix over the last 10, 15 years. Of course they want them in there. So I don't have a problem putting Alabama, because if you look at their losses, the only real suspect loss they have is Vandy. And, Vandy's been tough this year. They've been tough. I don't have a problem with Alabama, because we know they have really good athletes and they got the ability to beat anybody. They just been extremely inconsistent this year. And should that be rewarded? No. But do we want the best teams in there and it not be these 56-0 blowouts? I don't think that you would do that to Alabama. So they would make it interesting if they got in, for sure.
Who should be the most frustrated for both of you before we go to our first break? Who should be the most frustrated? Is it Miami? Is it BYU? Or is it the team that wins the Big 12 that you would think?
I think it's the Big 12.
The team that wins the Big 12, who still might have to go on the road and won't get the number 4 slot, depending on who it is that wins the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the crazy dynamic. I think if Arizona State wins it, they creep in and sneak up above Boise State. But talk to me.
Yeah, I think Arizona State's the best chance of sneaking in there. But if you're the Big 12, this is kind of the Big 12 is what Florida State was last year. Like, damn, that's how you all feel.
That's
about
how you gonna do us.
That's how you really feel about our conference. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of a realization period for the Big 12. Like, man, we're not from start to finish, no respect. So that Big 12 schools, they're probably the most heated in all this.
I mean, there's three 10-2 teams in that league, and no love.
No love.
There wasn't
No
even
love.
like one point in time where like Colorado was it at the most, but even that was like really short and faded. Like nobody looked at those teams outside of Colorado for more than 24 hours.
Who tricked it off the most? Iowa State, Miami, Clemson.
I think BYU tricked it off.
Them three. Who tricked it off the most this year before we go to break? Who do you think?
I'll actually say Miami, just because the Cluster's point, like their schedule was pretty bad. If you're Miami, you got to handle business. You tricked it off. Like you kind of had a layup. You just had to stay locked in, and they slipped.
They had a layup and tricked it off.
Absolutely.
That's like going up for a dunk and you end up trying to lay it off and you hit it off the back of the rim.
That's like playing 4 NBA games and going 0 for 19 from the 3-point line.
Like the Lakers. Oh, I'm sorry, LeBron. Go ahead.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna say BYU, because BYU they lost some suspect games. Well, I don't know. Arizona State was not a suspect loss, but they lost to Kansas, and I think if they wouldn't have lost that game, they would be 11-1. And I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think they get left out.
That only loss to Arizona State doesn't look bad. They losing to KU just totally blew their season, because they would have been 11-1, and I think that they would have been in there over SMU. I believe.
SMU is probably one of the biggest surprises. I think if you're talking about a team that handled their business when it was required of them to handle it, I gotta say SMU was probably one of the ones that I am feeling pretty good about them doing what they needed to do out of a lot of the teams that were there. Shout out to Oregon as well. Oregon handled their business as well.
We almost got in a situation where Boise State and SMU would have had buys. in that round, which would have been crazy to see Boise State and SMU both in that second round.
Right.
And obviously you'd have Oregon, Texas, and then it'd be those two.
But what's crazy to me is Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana, like all three of those teams should be 11-1, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for Ohio State losing to Michigan, Oregon would be undefeated, Penn State 11-1, Ohio State 11-1, Indiana 11-1. That's a really good year for the Big Ten. And then Illinois is 9-3. Like that. I mean, it's been a really strong season for the Big Ten.
Shout out to the Big Ten. Huskers in some ways did trick it off. Let's just leave it at that. We're gonna go take a break. WTF, we talk facts. We are here on Thursday 6 to 7. You can find us. We'll be right back after a few messages. Peace.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through December 17th is 15% off all wine and spirits and 25% off on thermometers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, Ugg, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Wants free diamonds. This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket.
Come in if you want.
FM.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Welcome back to WTF We Talk Facts. E. Strick here and Clester Johnson on the StreamYard line, as well as Harrison Arns. What up, my boys? What's good?
We're back. We're ready.
Oh, there he is. My guy, Kai Johnson in the building. Oh, I see you, Kai Johnson. Kai Johnson on the mic today. Hey, but no, seriously, though, we're going to get into this. And here's I think this is an important thing because for the last 2 years, the way that I envision this class is Nebraska football has felt like a teeter-totter. And if you don't know about a teeter-totter, it is a seesaw, whatever you want to call it. It's that thing where there's a balance of one side. Hopefully you have the weight of one side, even with the weight of the other side. Otherwise, you have an uneven balance, and one side of the teeter-totter goes high up and the other one goes high down, and sometimes you may fall off. Mm-hmm. And you may, it's just a wild dynamic. It's things like a scale of a balance. There's been an imbalance with Nebraska football. There's been one side that has seemed to have stepped up to the challenge. That had been the defensive side. Mm-hmm. The offensive side had a little bit of trouble. There's something that you just can't do in college football, and that's miss at the college level at the quarterback position. Nebraska has set themselves back with for about 2 to 3 years with a miss with Jeff Sims, and then Heinrich Harburg was just not ready yet. Mm-hmm. But I've got to give him credit.
He did a great job.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job considering. But that teeter-totter, that imbalance, because the defense has stepped up, and if there had just been a little bit of balance on the offensive side, you could have seen some better numbers with regards to Nebraska's success. Mm-hmm. Nebraska was 5-1 to start, class. 5-1. They had multiple opportunities, and it was like they was playing the game that I watched on TV for years called Press Your Luck. And then press your luck is something that happens where you go, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks, no whammy, no whammies, no whammy. Whammy. You lose all your cashola. That's what happened for Nebraska football for 4 opportunities until they landed the win to get them over and break through the bowl streak that they had been one of the only teams who have not hit a bowl in
I think that's what made Iowa hurt more, right?
Right?
Because you're like, okay, we're done, right? We're done with the tough finishes. And then 1 week later, here comes Iowa. Iowa.
So here's where I see it, Cless. Now the DC, the one who has helped out in this balance, has now vacated the position to find his way on to South Florida, Central Florida, Tallahassee. He's going to Florida State. Now that imbalance, it feels like a kicking of the can down the road. What does that loss do for Nebraska as far as this teeter-totter? Is the acquisition of Holgerson going to help in the balance of this thing? And how important is the next hire of the DC to Nebraska football? But you also have something to consider, and that's the exodus. 10 players at this point have already exited the program, and a lot of them on the defensive side that you hope to have retained to keep stability on that defensive situation. I've got more to share, but I want to let you chime in at this point, Clester.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, Eric. It's just we can do a whole podcast on this, but let me just give you from the beginning to a little snippet from the beginning all the way to the end of what I'm thinking. Nebraska football, tale of 2 teams this year, like you mentioned, 5-1 in the beginning. The peak of this year was the Colorado game, to be honest with you, because being there for that game, I saw what Nebraska football can be, especially in that first half. They were flying around. They looked fast. They just looked like a different team, 5-1. And in the beginning of the year, most of us were thinking 7-0 going into the Ohio State game. You guys remember that? Mm-hmm. Looking at the schedule, we're like, whoa, we could win these first 7 games. Just goes to tell you that we need to take each game by game, because we're not quite there yet. Now, you mentioned I'm not quite sure we've been set back due to the loss of the DC and the former quarterback. I'm going to disagree there. I like the fact that the quarterback has come out. Now, the setback would be if Dylan Raiola decided to go into the portal. That's a major setback right there. Because
you lost Kalen. You lost Kalen, and Harburg is looking to switch positions. Then you would have to go out there and pay another quarterback. So, go ahead. Keep going.
But Kalen was really he was a non-factor this year.
Right.
He didn't really factor into that. Their 6.
I need your backup, though. Where do you go from here?
I mean, you can get I think you can get a suitable backup in the portal. You'll probably be able to get you'll be able to get somebody.
Portal's going to be full for sure. With 100,
the portal be full as long as you got Dylan back. You know, he got him to a bowl, 6-6. He's going to be a year older. You got an OC now who knows what he's doing. What's going to be interesting is what's going to happen to Marcus Satterfield being promoted strictly to tight ends. Does that cause any dissension within the staff? Does he go and leave and try to go somewhere else? But Tony White leaving is huge. I'm telling you, it's a big deal because I understand why he left. I know he's from Florida. He wants to get his family back there. And I think he believes that FSU is probably the path of least resistance back to respectability. Like they were 13-0 the year before, and they had a crazy off year this year. Not sure what happened internally with that program, but it looks like he fired both the OC and the DC. So it's going to be interesting to see what happened next year. But it's going to be very critical, obviously, to hire someone who is probably doing something similar to what Tony White is doing defensively. But the main cog to this, E and Harrison, is keeping the offensive continuity. You gotta keep that first, because if you're recruiting people in, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at that. They look, okay, where's quarterback? Was the OC? Oh, Dana Holgerson is there. He's a well-known guy. We got our starting quarterback back. All right, good. DC, this is going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be very critical. They're going to have to throw some serious money at a good DC. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at who they should go after, but obviously you're going to look at who plays some of the best defense. And honestly, it's in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You know, the Big Ten typically has 4, 5, 6 teams in the top 25 of defense. So
well, let me throw this to Harrison, because Harrison, check this out, man. I hear what Clester is saying, and I think that does have something to do with it, because also Terrence Knighton exited as well. But I think this has something to do with it, is, you know, because the loss of the interior of your main, basically your rock foundation that starts in the front, you lose that, and you didn't really see that there was something to come in and follow that up.
Well, you got a guy named James Williams who unfortunately left as well.
Right,
that's one of the promising ones,
right,
to take over.
Right. So you lose that. I think it was also something internal going on, because I think this is particularly maybe a part of the rule miss. And I'm going to say this because I don't think Coach White wanted John Butler. And I think that internal, like that's like oil in water or oil in vinegar, because John Butler, we all know, had aspirations to become a DC again. So that's like being in a position and someone's looking over your shoulder. One, you don't really have a tight connection with. Then you're talking about Phil Snow, who also you had looking over your shoulder just to get some eyes. And did you feel that you really had the reins to do what you wanted to do? And I that could be something that maybe he didn't, and maybe he's gotten that by going to Florida State. Maybe he also wanted to get to the Sun and Fun again.
Yeah,
and he knows the ACC because he was up in Syracuse. So,
and if it's Tony White, I think like last year we were having these conversations. Like if it's, you know, if you're a rule, it's like, listen, I know you probably got intentions of not being here forever, so I'm going to have a guy on staff who is a suitable next up guy.
Okay.
I really doubt that Tony White didn't have the reins for how good that defense was. Like, you're trusting him, and we did. I feel like if you're him, right, his whole track record, if you want to become a head coach, you go down to Syracuse, you fix that defense. You go to Nebraska, you fix that one. Now you go to Florida State, you fix that one. You got a great track record. You're going to have all these head coaching jobs lined up. And on top of that, Florida State 335 sounds pretty nice. And with the recruits down there, he knows the area. I think he'll be able to maybe even flip that thing around year one and just have that. I don't know about the offense, but that defense, I think next year for Florida State's going to win them more than 2 games this year. I think that's what they finished with. He'll do well there. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. So I get it.
Before we go to break, we've got a new segment that's coming up. Cless, is there anything you want to follow up with what Harrison said?
No, I like what both you guys said. I think that Coach Rule was prepared for losing, and Tony White is a damn good DC. I mean, he's got a good track record now, so I could see him turning around FSU with all that Florida talent. But my concern is Nebraska. It's going to be. I'm just very interested to see if they can get a guy in here who can maintain what they got going on. We do lose, obviously, some big dogs up front, but it's time to reload.
There it is. Hey, so check this out. Stick around, because we have a new segment coming up. You are familiar with this or that. You're familiar with WTF Moment of the Week, but we have another one in store for you, and it is called If I Could, I Would. We'll be right back. Stay tuned right here at WTF We Talk Facts.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1003769, $395 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to assigning, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See blue for details.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA fighters on Saturday, December 7th with Violence Fight League 2 at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now is the perfect time to go, with Nebraska football in between the regular season and a bowl game. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
That's right. You know what we do. We Strick here and Clester Johnson on We Talk Facts every Thursday, 6 to 7, right here on 93.7 The Ticket. We Talk Facts. Yo, Cless, check this out, man. We have a new segment that we're breaking off to the people. It is called If I Could, I Would. What is it that we could do? If we could do it, we would do it, or we could change it and make it different. Tell us about what you got for us today.
As you can see right now, I'm doing my Birdman hands because this right here is dedicated to Fred Hoiberg, okay? If I could, I would make E. Streezy the head recruiting coordinator for Nebraska basketball. Because I'm going to tell you why. We would have Hunter Salas right now. Eric got a relationship with that family. We would have Latrell Wrightsell right now. That man's father was in Eric's wedding. We would have Chucky Hepburn right now. Why? Because Hepburn went to school with Erick Strickland. We would have St. Thomas. Eric has a relationship with that family. We would have John Tunges getting busy at Wisconsin. I mean, Fred Hoiberg, you have made a major mistake, my friend, because if I could, I would have made Eric the coordinator for that basketball team.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've been having discussions with him, and and even crazier than that. Let's even go back. Let's even just kind of let Coach Hoiberg wade in the water. You know the song, wade in the water. We're just gonna let that wade in the water. We're gonna go back to Tim Miles. Listen. Teams that was busting our tail at Creighton back in the day. 2 of them that was giving us the biznae. You understand me? Huh? It was Justin Patton and it was also Kyrie Thomas. I talked to Tim Miles, both of them, their families as well. I was mentoring one of them. Justin Patton's mom went to Bellevue West. I knew them personally as well. I kept trying to tell him. He said they can't play, and they gave us the business every year. And I said, okay, I'm out. So that's if I would, I could. Shout out to you on that one. That's a good one, my boy. I don't know. I'm gonna let that pass. I'm gonna let that wade in the water.
I didn't mean to get you all fired up, but that's one of those. If I could, I would have done that. I'd have went down there and be like, yo, this is happening. This is how much you're getting paid because it's going to pay off. And then by that time, you'd had a head coaching job because they seeing what you can recruit. All right, do we go to the next if I could?
Next.
I tell you what, guys, ever since Nebraska has gone to the Big Ten, it just hasn't been I haven't liked it. I really haven't liked it. If
You didn't
I
like,
could,
wait, Paul, real quick. You didn't like the style, or you didn't like just the outcome?
both.
Okay.
You know, I'm just not sure that Nebraska is a Big Ten team. So if I could, I would send them back to the Big 12. I would. If I could, I would.
You hear this, man? Already, Clester, you didn't sparked a lot of controversy because you threw out, Harrison put out some clips of WTF We Talk Facts. He put out the Dylan Raiola is Audi 5000 G. He put that out there, and you've been getting a lot of flack and feedback about that. So at this point, Harrison, I'm going to leave this to you. If he could, he would send us back to the Big 12. What you say, my boy?
I actually don't hate it. I hear that one a lot. Think about it. I mean, hey, if you're not just Nebraska, but you put the original Big 12, that's a really fun conference. You think about what the Big 12 would be like with all those original teams in there. Or
You mean the original Big Eight?
Excuse me.
The
With
additions?
Colorado, yeah, you throw Colorado, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Like that's a good conference. That's a good football conference. I'm okay with that one. I would agree. I would sign off on it.
Yeah. Class, give us one more. We got time for one more, my boy. What else you got?
This is a retroactive. If I could, I would. This is another E Strick. If I could, I would.
Pause. 402-464-5685. If you could, you would send us a text on the text line. Let us know if there's something you would do different. Talk to us, Class, real quick.
This is a personal. If I could, I would. We saw Eric have a successful NBA career. If I could, I would have liked to gone back and see what Eric would have done in football. I think Eric could have been a Megatron type receiver. I think Eric had the potential to be a Hall of Fame type receiver. But he had a little boo-boo in his shoulder and he decided to.
I did. You know, bro. It was like Ghost Rider. It was a boo-boo in the shoulder.
Harrison, he had a little boo-boo on his shoulder and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go this way. Man was all-state as a sophomore. The second all-stater in the state of Nebraska as a sophomore. Matt Smethman was the first sophomore all-stater. Then E Strick at receiver. Second receiver all-stater of all time. I would have loved to see a 6'3", 200-pound Erick Strickland receiver play football, but he chose basketball.
Harrison,
I would.
You would like to see a Stricky in Husker. See, if
what
I would
position?
have been, me and Clester. See, I probably would have been a hybrid, or I would have been like Tony Veland. I probably would have been a safety. But Cless. See, Cless was the beneficiary of throwing long bombs to Stricky. If he put it in if he put it in the area, it was caught. That's why Clester loved Stricky.
Great ball skills.
In the area, it was caught.
Great ball skills.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You just had to settle for the poor man's NBA career.
I had to go get the paperwork. The paperwork was it was like Pookie. I felt like Chris Rock on New Jack City. It was calling me. It was calling me.
Hey, Erick Strickland was Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter because he could ball on offense and defense.
That's a fact. We talk fast.
I got more for you. I got more, but we'll wait.
We're going to hold off to next week. All y'all listeners, we appreciate y'all tapping into WTF We Talk Facts. Clester Johnson, E Strick. We here for another couple of weeks, and then y'all going to have a good holiday. Christmas is on the way. Harrison. But Austin's my partner on another show. But it's all good. We're going to see y'all next week right here. Same time, same channel, 937 The Ticket. We Talk Facts. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.